India is keeping a very close eye on the developments in Bangladesh. Remember, Sheikh Hasina has been a good diplomatic friend of India. Sources telling us that a top-level meeting is currently being held in the corridors of power to keep and take stock of the current developments inside Bangladesh. If Sheikh Hasina, the outgoing Prime Minister of Bangladesh, is headed to India, then there are many moving parts to what India's diplomatic machinery will need to do in order to stay in control of the fallout of what's happening in Dhaka at this point of time. Highly complicated, highly volatile issue. A Bangladeshi Prime Minister, democratically elected, being overwhelmed by protests over an issue that was not of her immediate making, impinged on quotas for government jobs in the country that have escalated and snowballed into a kind of national opposition and student-led uprising against the Sheikh Hasina government, and most definitely involving international movers and shakers as well. Geeta Mohan continues to be with us. Geeta, high-level meetings are almost definitely taking place in India at this point of time, because this is a story in motion where the next step will be clear in a matter of minutes or a couple of hours when that aircraft actually lands.
Well, that's right. High-level meetings, concerns with regards to the situation in Bangladesh. Certainly, the Ministry of External Affairs has been looking into the situation on a continuous basis, but this changes everything. Expect the National Security Advisor himself to be looking at what happens next. Should Sheikh Hasina be landing in Delhi, there will certainly be certain high-level officials who will be meeting her. Probably not the Prime Minister, certainly not publicly, but the National Security Advisor, the External Affairs Minister, or for that matter, secretaries within the Ministry of External Affairs. There certainly would be meetings with the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh to get an assessment of the situation on the ground. Stakes are very high, not just for Sheikh Hasina. Stakes are very high for India as well, Shiv, and therefore meetings are underway. When it comes to the security officials, the National Security Council or NSAB in India, and as also the Ministry of External Affairs connected with the PMO. All of them are looking at the situation, monitoring the situation in Bangladesh, and trying to now figure out how to move further on a country as important as Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina no longer the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. There will be an interim government under the army, and the interim government will then decide how to take things forward. There certainly will be elections, because otherwise it's the Awami League that has the numbers in Parliament. So while the situation is still fluid, what the army chief has promised is peace and stability, that under him he'll try to ensure that peace and stability is restored. But this certainly is absolutely bad news for Bangladesh. It looks terrible right now for a country that has been doing much better than any other country in the region, Shiv, when it comes to GDP, growth, progress, economy. To fall to such an extent, this could be a prolonged period, will certainly impact their economy as well. So for now, the priority of Bangladeshi army has to be to restore stability, normalcy, and peace. For India, it will be to see, once normalcy and peace is restored, how are they going to look at for formation of an interim government, and what happens from there on. There is going to be a huge anti-India movement that had already begun in the first wave of the protest. This is not the first wave, Shiv. In the first wave of the protests, when we'd seen a lot of opposition against Sheikh Hasina, there was, and this is during elections, when there were protests against Sheikh Hasina and Awami League, there already was an India Out campaign that many of the anti-Awami League political parties and supporters had started putting out, taking a leaf out of the Maldives chapter. So it looks pretty bad for India at this point in time, at this juncture. Again, we'll have to wait and see how India engages the army and how India engages the the people who are not actually BNP or Jamaat-e-Islami supporters, but are just not happy with Sheikh Hasina or the Awami League for now, for the manner in which they conducted themselves in the recent past.
Well, this is a complete meltdown. The images coming in from the Prime Minister's house in Dhaka, Geeta, are, they're getting more violent, more aggressive, more volatile by the minute. We've got some more information coming in now that Sheikh Hasina's office in Dhaka has been set on fire by protests. This is the Dhanmondi office of the Awami League has apparently been set on fire in Dhaka. This is in the capital. The protesters have been chanting slogans and they've set fire to the local Awami League office where Sheikh Hasina apparently also operates from time to time in Dhaka. It's been set on fire. Arson, violence, vandalism, rioting. Expect all of these things to take place now as Sheikh Hasina flees Bangladesh. The Prime Minister of Bangladesh, democratically elected Prime Minister of Bangladesh, hounded out of her house and flown out from Dhaka and is likely to be landing in Delhi on her way to London very, very shortly. Her aircraft is currently in Indian airspace, but these are images coming in of the very, very violent escalation in Dhaka. An office of Sheikh Hasina's Awami League office in the Bangladeshi capital has been set on fire. And this appears to set the tone for what the next few hours and days is likely to be in Bangladesh. Geeta, the army has been very much part of the opposition uprising. The army has played its own sort of shadow role in how things have been allowed to escalate to a point where the Bangladesh Prime Minister was pretty much fearing for her own physical safety and forcing her to leave Dhaka. And now for an Awami League office to be set on fire in the heart of the Bangladeshi capital shows that it looks like the next few days are going to be out of control before a semblance of calm returns.
Yeah, Shiv, for us Indians, this is an unimaginable situation where the political situation takes such a turn that you'd have military take control. But we've had two neighbors where we've seen this more often than not. And it doesn't come as a surprise when we know that the army chief does have the powers to move things and move pieces in a way where the power structure then centers around the army and the military. In Bangladesh, that has been the case yet again. For a long time, that was not the case, but yes, it has returned. There was a point where a situation was getting out of control, and Sheikh Hasina did seek or ask for curfews to be put in place and army personnel to be deployed. That did not happen in time some time ago. So that certainly calls for us to question what is it that the army was doing. But at this point in time also, Shiv, we have to look at the situation on the ground. When the people rise against a leader and the leader does not take the cue in time, then there is a problem. Over here, Sheikh Hasina certainly did not take the cue. And on the other hand, when she did take the cue and she did agree to changing the quota proposal, it was already too late because it had taken a political turn. BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami started mobilizing their people and supporters on the ground. So irrespective of what the students wanted or didn't want, the story and the narrative had changed. And that change of narrative has led to the kind of protest that we are seeing now, from just demanding a change in the proposal of the quota for government jobs to veterans, families of veterans, to now a very clear demand for the past few days of resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who now stands as former Prime Minister of the country. So clearly there was a systemic way, a very systematic way in which all this was done, only because there were certain sections, certain people who were unhappy with one proposal put out by the government. And also the government was willing to take back that proposal. So it had gone far beyond just the proposal. It had to do with the political narrative that was set against Sheikh Hasina. Only a few countries, Shiv, are there who actually come out and support a Sheikh Hasina administration. And I keep saying that for our viewers to understand how difficult it has been to ensure a Sheikh Hasina administration, despite all the criticism, all the international community coming out and calling her an autocrat, that democracy is not there in Bangladesh anymore, so on and so forth. But for India, the concerns are many. It's a close neighbor, and not having an Awami League administration would spell a lot of
She's
security
going to be landing
concerns.
very shortly. So, some of those unanswered questions hopefully will be answered.